You got to define what that means.
What, RJ looking good?
Yeah,
Everything's relative.
exactly. There's all interpretation.
Okay, we're now streaming live, huh, Alex?
Yes, we're all set.
Okay, let's open our meeting. And Kenny, would you like to lead a pledge
All right,
here?
with Chutterweather's flag behind him.
Yep.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if anybody's got their phones on, please mute them while we're on the video meeting.
Okay. Let's take a look at the minutes from February 16th meeting. Okay, anybody have anything on 3 Nash Place?
No.
I do not. Anybody?
Oh,
All right. 8 AA Petra Lane, anybody?
I do not.
Top of page 3, RJ, first sentence. I imagine this is supposed to be truck turning radiuses, not deliveries.
mm-hmm.
Ron's muted.
You're,
Yeah, have it. Yes, no, that's correct. It should be turning radius. I'm sorry.
Very good. Anybody else, anything on that one?
No.
1586 Central Avenue. I have nothing. Anybody?
No.
Okay, 1560 Central Avenue.
Susan DePaula is present.
What was that?
Somebody's present. We're good.
Okay.
The page 5, the paragraph, Alex, it starts, Commissioner Keegan stated, the second line on there, it's, they stated they are still looking into how they will, instead of to, very minor.
Chris, I had a question
Yep.
on the actual application. Did they need they stated they were selling fresh produce. Did they need any other approvals from the health department?
Up to them.
I don't know that they've had to get them in any other places, John, so I'm not sure.
Okay, I just wasn't sure because it wasn't listed under the approvals that they needed. You said they needed a liquor license.
Yep.
Chris, just before we leave the paragraph you were discussing.
Yep.
Mr. Conte stated they've looked at how they will level it. They're not still looking at how they level the site. They've got it graded.
Can you repeat that?
So it's the part of the paragraph begins would be graded or leveled. Mr. Fronte stated that they have reviewed how they'll level it. And that is, it'll be graded downwards towards the building with a mild slope to the adjacent neighbor.
Got it.
All right.
Like it.
Back on page 5, same project. 1, 2, the third paragraph down, Alex, the next one down. 1, 2, 3, 4 lines from the bottom. You got to double that. It's that the. You have it?
Yep.
Okay. The next paragraph, at the very last word in the next paragraph, Cumberland Farms traffic study will review the data for bias? Or is that supposed to be base?
I think for basis.
Basis, okay,
Yeah.
very good. Got it, Alex?
Yes.
Okay, I had nothing else there. 1814. Alex, the second paragraph, next to last sentence, it's, need more parking than it needs. It's minor again. It's a that to a than. I had nothing else. Does anybody have anything?
No,
I do not. I do not.
Okay, somebody want to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from Tuesday, February 16th.
I'll second. Take your pick.
As amended, second by Kenny, and all in favor?
Yes,
Yes.
No one's opposed, correct? Okay. All right, let's, first on the agenda is 1586 Central Avenue. Do we have a representative from DePaula?
Yes. Susan DePaula.
Okay,
And Frank Palumbo from CT Mail. Also with Susan is Nick Glabasco from CT Mail, the architect on the building.
okay, Frank, are you taking it?
Yeah,
Starting, or-
I'll take the lead, Mr. Chairman. At the last meeting, we were given some requests. Those requests were outlined to us as well. Alex was very good to give us a summary in an email. The first of those items were that the board wanted to see the landscaping and lighting on the plans. We had at the last meeting identified that we were maintaining all the existing landscaping, which was put in at its origin when the progressive building was developed, and also the same with the lighting. So we did add those to the site plan. Subsequently, I got an email from Alex asking us to identify the landscaping plant chart, which if necessary, we can add to the plan if that was a condition to do that. But what we sent Alex, that if you needed to see it, was the original plan from the progressive, which has the entire plant chart on there. What we are stating is that we intend to maintain the property as it is at this time, which we think is well maintained and has the original intent of the landscaping. Obviously, there was a lot of screening on the side yards and some decorative planting in the front, which, as you, Mr. Chairman, as you pointed out, I think you saw that it was all as it appeared on the plan as you had gone by and seen that. So that is what we have done for the landscaping and lighting. We also provided the color elevation as we developed at the last meeting or discussed at the last meeting. I believe you were able to see the plans, had some notes on the colors that were there, but and we had thought that the color elevations had been submitted before. But the color elevation for the front of the building is there. Once you get around the corners of the, which would be maintaining the same type of color scheme as it wraps around the two, what are now the open canopies that we are developing into the building space. But once you get past there, the remaining building will be as is with their, as they currently, that we're not doing any further improvements to the elevations as you go along the sides and the back. So we have included the color elevation. Alex also was very helpful in finding when the plans were previously approved for the Maserati dealership, it was requested of the board that we put a note on the plan stating that there would be restrictions to doing any test drives on the residential side streets. So we actually utilized the same note that was used at the time of the, when the building changed from Progressive to an auto dealership. We were asked at the time, and I respectfully did not disclose the dealership at that time, but we understood that the board did feel that that was necessary. I talked with Susan DePaula about that, and we reached a point where we were able to come out and put on, and you see it on the elevation, that this will be a Mazda dealership. We added the 5 additional customer parking spaces that we had discussed at the last meeting. And we finally, Mr. Chairman, got the dimension on the plan for the setback from the paving, the parking that we're looking to add in the front, and the distance from there to the right-of-way line. So we believe we covered all of the items that were requested at the last meeting. Susan is available if there were any particular questions about the dealership. But we're also able to answer any other questions that the board may have.
Okay. RJ and Victor, you have any additional items?
I do not, other than the potential that we talked about earlier.
Okay. Okay, I guess we'll go down to Mark. You have anything? You're muted.
No, I do not. Thank you.
Okay. Jim,
Nope, I'm good.
Dan,
Everything looks good to me.
okay. Kenny,
Do we have anything on what the lighting is going to be for those display vehicles on the left? I know we had a question on lighting for the dealership on Carner Road.
I think what you're,
yep, go ahead.
yeah, I think what you're referring to is what they call the jewel box, where the cars are inside the building.
Yes.
But there is light. The light is directed onto the vehicles. There would be a halo, I guess you might say, of some light spread. That's probably would be impossible to do that. But it is very limited. All the lighting is directed inside toward the vehicle from the building there. It would probably not have any more disbursement of light than inside. You know, most of the dealerships have large glass frontages, so the light spread is probably equal in that point.
Okay, thank you.
Peter?
No, I'm good, sir. All good.
Okay. John?
Yeah, I'm just going to assume that the TIF file that you sent us with the landscaping legend will be included as part of this stamp plan package.
We can handle that in the manner that the chairman would see fit. He'll be the one stamping it, I believe. That is an old plan. It can certainly be referenced to restamp it would be a little odd in terms of it being a plan developed at one time. But Mr. Chairman, if you know, like I said, we're going to stamp the plans. You're stamping it for the planning board. I guess I'll leave it at.
Well, if that's the landscaping plan that you're going to adhere to, then we can just take a copy of that and attach it to these plans, and that'll be the reference for it.
If that's what you're looking to do, I think that.
I would just attach it, Frank, and all the board members will be signing off on it. So we'll read into the office and get them signed. So I agree with John. Just put that on there.
Okay.
So, all right.
Yeah, and I think you have an updated stamp on here too. That says it was certified by CT Mail Associates, printed and issued.
That we would have to update that stamp. Frank Fazio is no longer with CT Mail. So I will be putting my stamp on there. We'll probably add a note referencing the date and how that relates to this on the plan, and we'll stamp next to that.
Yeah, then we can show a progression. That's great.
I got one more thing, Chris.
Yep, okay.
Just Frank and Susan, just understand that whatever we vote on this application, the signage, we have no control over that. So while we may approve this application, the signage, I believe, has to go to somebody else, sign review board.
Yes.
Assuming that it doesn't meet the criteria of our zone or our sign code.
Correct. So I guess my point is that just as long as the applicant realizes that what we approve signage is underneath different control of a different board, different commission.
Thank you. It's very good information to be reminded of.
Okay.
I know we've had the plans into the building department, but I don't know if they specifically looked at that yet to know if we're within code or not. So we will follow up on that.
Thank you.
RJ, I assume that we don't need an environmental statement on this with there's no footprint change, or we may have already done it anyway, but
I think you're fine. Right, we're not changing the building footprint.
so,
The minor, the only real change is the asphalt.
Yep.
Which is de minimis.
okay, is anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Paula Mazda dealership at 1586 Central Avenue.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, is there anyone
Yes.
opposed? Is there anyone opposed? Gotta ask this on Zoom so we know. All right, good.
Nope.
All right,
Congratulations. Good luck.
I want to thank you all for your considerations, and I think you'll be very proud to have us part of the village.
That's good because I look at it every day.
Good. Oh, I think you're going to be very surprised, and it's quite exciting. It will be certainly a good addition.
Thank you.
all right, very good.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Take care, Frank.
Okay, 14 Jupiter Lane. Unmute yourself, Al.
I'm all set there. Thank you very much. What questions, if any, do we have, please?
Just run us through what the operation is, what they do.
They do solar installs on houses and commercial buildings.
Sorry, actually, that's I'm Joseph Nealon from Sun System Technology.
Yep.
That's actually incorrect. We are strictly a repair and maintenance for solar assets. Yeah.
Okay, the write-up that was put in here, the narrative said the solar repair maintenance company. Okay, residential and commercial. Yep. That's residential and commercial, Joe?
Sorry, what? Can you repeat that question? Sorry.
That's residential and commercial?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. All right, now the building that this is in is 14, we're calling it, Elliot?
14 Jupiter Lane, yes.
And which building is that of the three that you have?
It's the building that's in the middle.
Middle building, okay. All right. All right, I don't have more questions. Let's go around the board. Mark,
I do not have any questions.
Jim,
Jim, you're muted.
You're muted, Jim.
you're muted, Jim. We want to hear from you.
Well, as he
You
figures it out.
unmute yourself, Jim.
I'm good.
All right, Dan,
I'm good with it. I don't see any issues.
Kenny,
Any outside storage, displays, etc.?
No, everything will be internal.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
okay, thank you for that question, Kenny. Slipped through me. Peter,
Yes, the only question I had here was provided hours for Saturday and Sunday. It states as needed. I understand what that means, but I think we should have the ups and downs or the tops and bottoms, if it's going to be still 8 to 5. I don't know
Yeah,
if that's possible.
if like a technician needs to go pick up items, it would be between normal business hours.
Okay, I just want to make sure it's, whatever time it was, it opens you up to anything, but
All right, John?
So if it's assume normal business hours, we're safe to say that Saturday and Sunday we could put down for 8 to 5 instead of as needed, and that would cover all your needs?
That would be sufficient, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all I had, Chris.
Okay. Joe, just to ask a couple of questions. There's no staff. How much staff is in the building? Is there staff during the day through these work hours?
Not normally at this location. We're going to have about 10 technicians that will be coming and going out the day. They might not even be there every day just to come grab parts and items to go repair the systems or work orders are working.
Okay. No vehicles are parked there for the company? They have their own?
They have their vehicle. They have company vehicles that will be taken home and then are supposed to be parked overnight there.
Got a little garbled. Can you repeat that one?
Oh, so yeah, our employees do have company vehicles, but they do take them home. So the only time we would ever have a vehicle parked overnight would be if someone was terminated or resigned and we're refilling that position.
Okay. That's all I have. Anybody else? Anything additional questions?
I do not.
I do not.
Okay. Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a
I'll
motion to
for
approve
you,
14
Chris.
Jupiter Lane, Sun Systems Technology in Unit 3.
Nice second.
Was there, somebody else had discussion?
Oh, I was gonna make the motion, but John jumped in.
All right, very good. Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
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 Anyone opposed? All right, very good, approved.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
for your consideration.
Well, welcome to the village.
Thank you.
Okay, 1757 Central Avenue. JDRF Northeastern New York Chapter.
I don't see any applicants. Oh, actually, he said he couldn't make it. I forgot to email you guys. So they requested to be on the April 6th meeting.
Oh, all
He
right,
ended up being double booked.
very good.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, if there's anybody has any discussion on it, board members, let's pick it up after we get through the next two applicants and,
Okay.
all right. Okay, 10 Aldershoot Road.
Here.
Oh, our applicant here, is that
Yes, it's Mr. Rankin.
Mr. Rankin? Okay. Okay, you want to give us a little rundown of the operation? I know you got a narrative, but if you could still give us a little rundown.
I'm a mortgage broker, been doing business in Latham since 1995. Due to this COVID virus, we've downsized quite a bit, don't have a need for a large office. Instead of meeting people face to face as we've done for many years, it's mostly done either on the phone call or through Zoom video calls like we're doing right now. So in downsizing and limiting a big office, I'm looking to use one of the bedrooms in my home as a home office for myself. There will be no clients or borrowers coming to my home. As I said, everything's either done through a phone call or through a Zoom video call.
Okay. No other employees on the site or anything?
On my site, no, I do have other employees, but they're working remotely from home per the governor's orders back in March of last year.
Yep.
And going forward, if the orders ever released, no, they would not be in my home. I would open another office again, a regular commercial location.
Okay. This might be new to a few of our members. We haven't done a home occupancy in quite a while, but we do have it in there. RJ, this we have to bring this for a special permit. Do we have to have a hearing on that one?
Yes, you do. Special permits all require hearing.
Yep.
Public hearing.
Anybody have any more questions on this?
I do.
Board members. Yep, go ahead.
Robert, ever since March of last year, everybody, well, a majority of people are working at home. So why are you in front of us to work out of your house? I mean,
Good question. For the last 13, 14 months, I've been paying over $3,000 a month for rental space over at 30 Century Hill Drive, where we've been since 2013, even though we're not even in the office. I did not know you need a special use permit to work out of your home until I negotiated getting out of my lease at 30 Century Hill Drive. And the banking department, Department of Financial Services, states we need a letter from the city in which we live in stating they allow home occupancy businesses. And that's why I'm here today. I mean, obviously I've been working from home for a year, not knowing I needed a permit because my physical business location was not in the Village of Colony. It was in the city of Latham.
So Kenny,
yes,
he's actually doing it correctly. If you want an answer as to how this is transpiring.
that's what I guess I'm
If I
going
can,
towards, because
Roger,
so is there going to be any outside signage or
No, sir, not at all.
anything like
No.
things on your vehicle?
No, never have been. I've been there, like I said, for 26 years. I have no signage on vehicles. At our location at 30 Century Hill Drive, there's no outside sign.
so
Ron?
Kenny, if I can just interject something here. You are correct. Normally, this probably would have just been never before the board, but the fact now is the village has to issue a letter. And you can't issue the letter without having
Unless we go through
an approval, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So
It's
that's-
it's called a zoning compliance letter, which is something that all lenders do. And with regularity with the clients that I represent, banks, lenders are unwilling to do any of this lending unless this quote unquote zoning compliance letter is issued.
And in order for that letter to be issued, we have to go through the process.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Does anybody have any issue with having the special permit meeting on this, the public hearing at our next meeting?
The only question I have is that if I heard the applicant correctly, that once the governor's edict is lifted, he will discontinue this and go out and look for a permanent commercial office somewhere else. Is that correct?
Correct.
So for all we know, this may be a 6-month issue. Is there anything that we have that can short circuit this, the need for the public hearing and the permit application, or is it that's, as Victor said, zoning requirements?
The answer is no.
From the bank.
Okay. I just wanted to ask the question. Thank you.
John, I agree with you. It's unfortunate, but we have to have the hearing. And actually what we can do though is have them both same night. We can vote on it right afterwards too.
Yeah.
Right.
So, so Robert, that's what we have to do. We'll schedule for our very next meeting. We'll notify you. When's that going to be, Alex? We have
16th.
So we
No.
don't have any more March meetings due to village elections on the 16th. So the next scheduled regular meeting is April 6th. Now, because we are setting up a public hearing, we can kind of make that on the off Tuesday in March. And then Mr. Rankin could return for the April 6th meeting. Because there's 3 weeks in between. So we could do it on Tuesday, the 23rd or the 30th, or you can wait to April 6th, but I'm like the rest of the board, I'm trying to help speed it up.
I mean,
But it's not going to really be speeded up if we still have to wait till April 6th. If we don't expect to have any issues, we could just do everything all at once.
Well,
Then you have to wait.
let me ask this, Robert, do you know any neighbors that may have any issues?
That's a great question. I applied for a variance permit to build a garage a year ago, and my neighbors told me there's no issues, yet neighbors complained later and it was denied. So I'm not even gonna go there. I have no clue.
Okay.
You know, I like I said, I'm using a bedroom in my home as a home office. There are no clients coming to the home. There are no signage. I am kind of at a loss for words as to what to say.
I hear.
Chris, if the board is inclined, you could also, since the 16th is canceled, you could reschedule the planning commission meeting to the 23rd. But that's up to, that would have to be a motion and approved.
Can I ask a favor of the board?
Go ahead.
You can ask anything you want.
Is it possible to get a letter from the town of the Village of Colony stating that it is in process, pending the public hearing, as you're calling it? So I can provide that to the Department of Financial Services, so they don't think I'm sitting on my thumbs?
Victor? Are you-
We could issue a letter stating that you have an application in to get all the necessary approvals for a home occupation, which is allowed so long as a special permit is granted, which, you know, hasn't been granted. I mean, the bottom line is, Bob, is you're not going to get the quote unquote zoning compliance letter. And I'm not
That's
speaking.
not what I'm looking for, Victor.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Victor. And that's not what I'm looking for. It's just, as you and I both know, the DFS is not always easy to deal with. Rhoda Riggins, I've known for a long time, the deputy superintendent, and she says, Bob, if it gets dragged on, I just need something showing that you have applied and it's in the process. I'm not asking for
absolutely.
zoning compliance.
We can absolutely give you a letter like this that says that.
That would be great.
Would the meeting minutes suffice, Victor?
No, why wait for that? Because then we have to approve the minute meetings.
Okay.
You know, it's going to take too long. I think,
Victor-
Alex, if you want to put together, or Bob, if you want to send me something tomorrow at my email, I'll take a look at it. And then, you know, even I could sign it as the attorney for the board, but you know what I mean? We're not here to hurt you. And having been on the zoning board, or not been on the board, but been the board attorney last year when you came in for the variance, you were absolutely right. You never know what neighbors are or aren't going to say, but given what you're telling us, I don't know what they could complain about, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. I'm going to suggest, I don't know if the board is okay with it, but we can do a public hearing if you give the proper notices and do it on the 23rd.
I'm good with that.
Are you suggesting we're going to vote that night though then too?
Yes.
Victor?
Well, unless there's a big brouhaha on this
Yeah.
thing.
I'm just thinking that if the letter will suffice for Robert and you can put that in his hands, I'd like to do everything on the 6th. Have the public hearing, we'll close the public hearing and we'll vote on this project.
If that letter will be okay for you, Bob, then it should be okay to move it to the 6th.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Victor. I appreciate your help.
All right, we'll keep it on the 6th then.
So schedule wise, Robert, should be all right for you?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Let's proceed that way. And Victor, you'll put that in his hands, huh?
Yeah, just, Bob, do you have my email address?
I got it, Vic.
All right.
I'll
Yes.
have it out to you tomorrow morning. Thank you.
And,
Okay.
And thanks for actually doing this one correct.
Yeah.
You guys have a
Sure.
good night.
I'm sure there might be other neighbors around it aren't, so thanks. All right. Okay, very good.
Bye-bye.
All right, take care. Have a good night.
Okay, 1850 Central Avenue.
Yes, hi, I'm Tim Thoreau from LabCorp. We're looking to open a LabCorp Patient Service Center within the Walgreens at 1850 Central Avenue. Plan to service approximately 30 patients a day, although it probably start out much slower than that. And our initial hours will probably be 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. It's a full service patient service center. Anybody with a valid doctor's order can go in and get their specimens collected. So, I'm open for any questions you may have on this project.
So the doctors will give a prescription for them to come to the lab?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you going to do any of the kinds of tests that take a period of time? So there's like 10-hour urines, or I forget what they're called, but they're, the patient has to stay there for a while.
I don't believe they're gonna be doing those in this location, just because there's not a waiting area.
Yeah, I guess that was kind of
Yeah.
sliding into that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're just trying to, it's for convenience mostly. We're trying to, it kind of benefits Walgreens and it benefits LabCorp, obviously. That, we get the patients coming in for blood work and they shop and, and kind of symbiotic relationship. But
Okay, can you tell me a little bit more about the medical waste pickup and that kind of thing?
yeah, that's usually done once a week. It's kept in a secure location within the facility. They pick it up, they box it up, tape it up, it's brought out, very safe. There's no chance of exposure for public or anything like that. And they would be bringing that in and out through the rear entrance, not the front.
And you're doing this in other drugstores, pharmacies as well?
Yeah, we're doing it throughout the nation. This is like our second wave.
Okay.
Are your medical waste kept separate from the medical waste that are processed by Walgreens?
Yes.
Jim, any questions?
Nope.
Okay, Dan,
No, I do not.
Kenny?
I do not. I mean, they're gonna need to get building permit and everything, and they're gonna put a bathroom in there and Tim, is it just gonna be a toilet and a sink? I mean, there's not gonna be a shower or anything like that?
Yeah, no, just toilets.
I don't have anything.
Peter?
No, sir, I'm good. Thank you.
John, got anything additional?
No, I'm good.
Mark, anything additional? Or are you good?
No, good, thank you.
Okay. Tim,
Hey,
you did,
Chris,
Good.
Denny judging, I just thought of
Yep.
something.
Yep.
You're only doing this 5 days a week. You're not going to do any service on Saturday or Sunday. You're shut down. Is that correct?
Right now, we're starting with 5 days a week. If we do go to weekends, it's usually like one of the 2 days, 8 to 4. 8 to 12.
All right. You might want to put that on your application because right now you're restricted to 5 days. If you put it on your application, you're able to do work on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
you'd have to come back to us if you wanted to include Saturday and Sunday.
Well, okay.
Include it now, you have the
okay.
option of keeping it going without having to come back to us.
Okay. Well, we should probably put it down because, if the business takes off, of course, we'd want to expand our hours.
so
We have other facilities throughout the region, but, we're just trying to see how these work in that market.
Alex, you'll have to have that on his application, then he'll have to bring that into you.
Yes, if I could just have that on the motion as well,
Yep, okay.
please.
And one other question, Tim, you did mention here that specimens, so forth, go out a separate door. I don't see that on the plan as to how that works.
The specimen pickups, no, that was for the medical waste.
Okay. And there is a rear door for the medical waste then.
Well, we would probably go in through where I guess they take the receiving is.
Yeah, there's a receiving right there and back, but okay, all right, yep. Anybody have additional questions?
I do. I have 2 quick ones.
Yep.
The one question about hazardous, where did it go? Are hazardous materials used or stored? I don't know what our definition of hazardous is. I tried to look today, but does medical waste constitute hazardous storage and should he change the application?
It's not typically
Okay,
called that hazardous.
all right, good. And the other thing is this a new business? He answered no, it's probably yes, correct? LabCorp isn't a new business, but it's a new business for us,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, I wasn't sure how to answer that one. It took a couple guesses.
Yeah.
All right, anybody, anything else? Okay, if a motion is made, then we have to make a motion on the 2 items that are going to be adjusted on the app.
I'll make a motion to approve LabCorp into 1850 Central Avenue with the conditions that the hours for Saturday and or Sunday are limited 8 to 12, and that the application reflect a new business as opposed to the current indication of not being a new business.
Second.
Okay, we've got a second. All in favor?
Yes.
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 Okay, is anyone not in favor? All right, very good. Approved.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the village, Tim.
Thank you.
Okay. Alex, I'd like to go back to 1757 here for the board. The RJ and myself had a meeting with Hoffman's, and they actually had a way more updated site plan than what we got in this application. This was a 1995, I believe we had on here. It doesn't reflect what's currently built. We should have the current site conditions for that application. So you said that they are moving to the next meeting?
Yeah, he said he had other planning meetings, so, yeah, I don't know why I can't speak, but April 6th, yes.
Okay, anybody additional stuff that we'd like to speak on that one? RJ, you want to add anything to what transpired?
As far as the tenant change application, I don't really have anything. You know, they're using it for their office now. Excuse me, they moved out of their offices there. They are currently vacant. So I didn't see somebody moving in as a big deal. Our meeting was concerning the potential of a zoning modification by the village board. So that was the purpose of our discussion. They were just kind of presenting what they thought they would need and just wanted to kick it around. And, you know, we offered some advice as to what we thought they might want to do in terms of making sure the neighbors are well protected, et cetera, and talking to the neighbors and things like that.
Yeah.
So they really need that to clean up what they have there. Otherwise, to become in compliance, it would really kind of screw them up, I think, with some of their driving lanes.
Yeah, and Patty, this will come before you guys, so that's what they'll have to apply on that. It won't be through us, so.
Yeah, because didn't they have new plans when they wanted to put that extra drive line in, or where they're gonna like have the automatic
Right.
reader?
Yes, they did, and they had it in discussion with RJ and I, and then I take a look in this, and John's telling me, well, wait to see the date on it, so.
1989. 89.
So were they looking to rezone the back
Part of
portion?
the back portion.
Right.
Okay.
Small portion. And just so everybody's aware in the commission, this will come to the commission for a recommendation.
Right.
Board will accept the application, if they accept the application, and then refer it to the planning commission for a recommendation back to the village.
Now, if I remember correctly, when they came in front of us to add the 2 drive lanes that they wanted to put in on the side, I think we observed that they had made changes to the site already that hadn't been on the previous site, and asked them to show us the original site plan that was approved and the changes that they made that haven't been addressed. Am I remembering that correctly?
I think what your application for this tenant change, you're seeing what was approved. Almost. Actually, it's not quite true because they did the Jiffy Lube next to it. I think it was what was approved versus what they're proposing.
Why do we have so much echo on this meeting tonight? Does somebody?
It's Jim. So Jim, when you unmute yourself, that's why I'm muting you.
It's going, Jim.
You've been muted.
I don't know what your feedback is, but it's you.
Yeah,
Can I,
keep
can
it
I,
muted.
can I ask a question? Why does this application has to go to the Board of Trustees and then back to us for what?
No. We're talking about two different things.
Okay, that's where I'm lost.
This application does not have to go in front of the Board of Trustees. For a zoning change, there's got to be a letter asking the Board of Trustees, who then in turns it over to our board for recommendation back to the Board of Trustees, who would vote on, they're the only ones that have the jurisdiction to change zoning.
Is this talking about the zoning in the back?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
So I'm actually, having said that then, Victor, if they apply back to us, they'll be applying back to us with, I guess it's going to be a mixed use, right? We're gonna,
Well, no, I think what they'd have to come back, it's all starts with them going to the Board of Trustees with a letter asking to do this. Then the Board of Trustees sends it to us, and then we take a look at what they're looking to do.
yeah, but that again is on the zoning change. I'm talking about just the application for this tenant.
It's a use by JDRF, which is a nonprofit international organization that does research to find a cure for juvenile diabetes, type 1 diabetes. That's what they're looking to do. And I know that Hoffman moved his operation over to the town of Colony. But I think it's off of Interstate. They built a new building.
Yeah. I guess my question is, can we act on this? And if we were going to be approving it, can we be looking at approving this on the approved site plan, whatever that is that we have, as opposed to what they have built?
I think we could only act on what's been approved, much the same as what we had to do with 1770.
That's kind of my question. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when we get there, I think we need to put that language in any potential approval for a change in tenant.
I mean, I'm not of the opinion I want to hold up this organization, obviously.
No, I understand completely.
No.
But I'm still struggling with the plan that they submitted for the additional lanes for to line up the cars, that showed stuff that wasn't on the approved site plan originally. So what do we do with that? You know, they currently have a site that's not in compliance. At least that's the way I remember when we looked at the plan they submitted for the drive-by lanes. We recognized they expanded all of the asphalt to the rear, which is beyond what the original plan was for approval.
Isn't that up to building department or compliance? What is that, code enforcement?
Well, I guess my question is, how can we address approving a tenant on a site that we know is not in compliance, even though we're relying on an old site plan that was approved?
Oh, gotcha. No,
I'd have to look at all that, and Ron would have to look at it to see what they've done and if they did it outside of what our zoning code requires and what the planning approval was. I don't have a direct recollection. I do remember we talked about this, John, but I don't have anything in front of me, and I don't know if you have either, Ron. So I don't know.
No, but I want to kind of put this tenant into perspective. That I believe they're not going to be taking all the space upstairs, just a little bit. I do not believe this is a donation. So normally, I agree with John that we would hold up tenant approvals to get the site into compliance. There's a monetary reason for the property owner to do that. In this case, if this is truly, and we can have this verified, if this is going to be a basically a free lease,
It's a charitable offering that Mr. Hoffman has made to JDRF to allow them to occupy this space for no fee.
Correct.
Again, I can back up here and talk about I think what John's stating is correct here. But having said that, Victor, if we had the latest, as you say, you don't have before you, if we have the latest site plan that's approved and we wanted to act on this, as RJ is saying, they're only taking about a third of what the space is up there. I believe, and you can kind of correct me if I'm wrong and kind of think about this before the next meeting, is that I think we'd have to be having some statement again and saying it's not verifying and approving the site plan that you currently have,
Right.
knowing that they are going to try and proceed and go for zoning. I'm thinking it's going to have to be classified prior. So.
Yeah, we're going to have to clarify it. There's no question.
Yep.
And I appreciate what John's saying. He says, how can we act, or should we act on something like this, given what apparently is, but what's happened there. But as Ron said, and as I said, it's the space is substantially smaller than what was being used by Hoffman's. I guess it was their general main offices, and it's a charitable contribution. So there's no, he's not making any money off of this.
Yeah, he is. He's making a tax write-off.
I'm not going to go there.
So again, John, that's how I think if we want to work, act on this, I think we have to have a clarification again that we're not approving what's out there and that they need to be bringing that back before the trustees.
Yeah, I'm okay with that on that basis. It's just that, you know, we need to get it on the record that they've got something that is in non-compliance.
Yeah. I concur, and I think we have to have that all put together for the next meeting. That's how if we're going to proceed. So, all right.
So how do we get the message to them that we need do we have an approved plan that we've stamped for that operation, that site?
And maybe they want to send it back to this.
You want to review this, RJ, and see where we do stand, and you're muted.
You're muted, RJ.
Take your mute off.
Not a bad thing to have for them.
No, that's a good point, Shutter.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Ron.
I'm never going to mute again. Actually, all I was saying was that I'd be happy to look at it. Alex, I'll probably need some help from you, but I thought we looked at this one time. So I'll check what I have in my files and then we can go from there.
We did look at the site plan.
Yeah.
We looked at a site plan that they submitted.
Correct.
Didn't act on, they went away.
We did not do anything with it.
We want to look for the approved site plan.
There's a few, I think.
Yeah, I'm assuming that there's going to be a site plan that's between 1995 or 85 and the one that we're looking at on last Monday. So
I think there is, and I think it's related to the Jiffy Lube.
Yep, probably. Yep.
All right. Anybody have anything additional? Alex, we got anything coming in?
We do. BJ's is doing an exterior facade change, so they'll be in for April 6th. That'll look really nice. It's no change to the existing inside. It's really just the face. What else do I have? There's something else. Nothing really big.
How about Coles? Where does that stand? And RJ, did we put something together letter-wise for that too, or?
I took the comments that we discussed and basically did it as an email to them, Chris, very informally. Didn't do it better. They did thank us for the comments, and they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do.
Yep. Did you get that out to all the board members too?
I didn't copy them. I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah, because
I copy the board on stuff to applicants.
Yeah, because I just so the board members that know that visited the site and so forth, I translated that information we had to RJ. So think RJ, it'd be good if you put that in the hands of the board members too.
Certainly.
All right. And just for the commissioner members here, that RJ, I think, come up with a good idea. Remember, we were talking about what else could they do for us landscaping wise. That's really a vast open parking lot. And we talked about, well, let's go down through the middle of this. We'll take out 4, 6, 8, whatever parking spots, and let them break that up with an island there, a substantial island, so you get a real tree that's growing in there. I think that's a good idea because it's so big, we could break it up.
Chris, this is Danny Judge. Are we
Yep.
still on YouTube? Are we still live?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I just wanted to know if we should be saying these things live.
Why not?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just asking. I just didn't know what the
It's a
public
good
needs to know.
point for us to think about, but yes, I don't have a problem with it because we're sending it out to the applicant and through the board. So,
Okay,
but thanks for that reminder.
okay.
Chris, I remembered the other application. So I'm anticipating California Closets coming in for their final approval.
Yep.
As well as 1692 Central. She's a foot doctor. She came in recently for a change of occupancy for that ACU staff. It's a multi-tenant building. I guess there's a tenant space that she wants to convert to an apartment. So she's looking to modify that as well.
Where is that?
We
Where
just
that
moved
foot
that.
doctor is,
Yeah.
it over by Lapham Drive, in between Lapham and Lansing.
Right next to, between Oscar's Pizza Shop and the,
Chiropractor.
The
yeah,
foot
Gotcha.
foot
Okay.
doctor. Yeah.
Okay.
RJ, that's what I talked to you about the one day. So I kind of filled her in and she was like, okay, great. I'm going to jump on it. So
I would suggest is that whatever she wants to do, she maybe bounce it through me.
Yeah.
I gave her your information
Okay.
yesterday, so she will be calling you.
What's your name again?
Anna?
no.
I would suggest that too, RJ, have you take a look at it. Now, when that comes through and we're doing commercial and they bring in one residence, does that mean it's one of the 5 per acre we can have that they use up space, or
She's actually looking for 2 apartments.
2? Okay.
So I told her it was going to depend on the parking and as well as the lot size, her
Yep.
acre.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, yes, Chris, that's correct.
Yep. All right, very good. All right, sounds like you and Steve are on top of that, so I need to just let it go here. All right.
Yeah, just don't worry about it.
Chris, you mentioned something about end of Broderick. Is there something you can relate to all of us, or is it too premature for that?
I don't really know a whole lot on it. They were having discussion prior. John, was John not on when you were going into talking about that?
No, they were just said they had information about end of Broderick and they were going to look at exit points, but they didn't say what was planning back there or what the thought was or anything like that.
I believe it's tied to the school, does it not? Whoever
The South Conley Central School District is going to be entering into a contract to purchase the Bianchini property, or Bianchini, I never know how to say it. And they will be, that's about 50 some odd acres. They want to build a bus garage and district offices.
Oh.
Really? Is that sand dune over by Walker Way there?
It's a big open wooded area, Kenny.
Yeah.
So it's, developers have been trying to do something there forever.
Yeah, okay.
If you go down, walk, take a right on Petra off of Walker Way, where the road, you just keep going straight through NIMO and for National Grid now, but it's back in there.
They'd be looking to come out through the commercial park.
Oh, you're going to have a traffic study like you wouldn't believe. You're going to love it.
John, that was my discussion earlier. I just told RJ to make sure we know all the access points because that's a big item. So
yeah.
So
We
John,
walked that site 15 years ago, or didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, okay.
To answer your question, John, they have no plan at this point.
Okay, I just heard the brief discussion. I wanted to know what you were
Yeah, no,
thinking.
just so you know, that's just so you know, the reason I know about it is the attorney called me for the school district and to let me know what was going on, to see if we can get a meeting with the mayor and everybody. And I said, well, why don't you give us an idea what you want to do first, and then we can have a meeting.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, you bet.
All right, we good?
Yeah, we're going over to Victor's to eat because he's
Yeah,
looking at
yeah.
something.
I'm hungry. I haven't
We
been
got-
off meetings since 7 this morning.
I didn't say you, Cheddar. I said Victor. He's got that bowl of pasta or something there.
Oh, Victor's, okay.
Well, we got a choice, huh?
Yeah.
All right, very good.
Motion we close the meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Have a
Second.
second? All in favor?
Yes.
So
Yes.
so we'll be the 6th, right, Alex?
Yes, we'll see you April 6th.
I just want to say, once this COVID thing done, we visited Delmonico's the other night,
Yep.
and Jason's going, where are you guys? So
Where
We're
are
gonna turn off the YouTube now.
they're looking for us.
Just to keep in mind, in April, we may be transitioning back into in-person, so.
When?
Alex, having said that, Alex, one thing I'd like to follow up on, are we looking at getting that screen for site plans and so forth? Is that being still looked into, or?
I would have to touch base again with the deputy mayor
Yep.
and the IT committee, but
Yep.
I will make sure that they know that we're looking for it. It all
Excellent.
depends on
Yep.
budgets, but I'll see
Yep.
if that was put in the tentative budget.
Very, very good. All right.
All right.
I'll see you all on the 6th, one way or the other here, Alex, and let us know where we're going.
All right.
Yes, don't forget village elections on the 16th.
All right. Have a
Awesome.
good
care,
one, everybody.
Awesome.